And we begin tonight at 6 with breaking news on the northwest side of Indianapolis.
A man is now under arrest accused of a crime which led to a shootout with police this morning. Ashton Hackman joins us live from this with the very latest. Ashton.
Yeah, well, Scott and Anne Marie, Metro Police tell us the person they arrested was the person in that original domestic disturbance case. Of course, there was 2 people wanted in this. We just learned a 32-year-old was taken into custody at a home not far from where that shooting happened. He was arrested on preliminary charges of robbery, unlawful gun possession, strangulation, domestic battery, and unlawful entry of a vehicle. No word yet on if he had any role in the actual shooting. Now, as you might remember, this call started as a domestic disturbance on the northeast side. Police were searching for a car involved. They found it on the near north side and chased it to 28th and MLK. That's where the 2 suspects allegedly hopped out and fired a gun at police. An officer returned fire, and then those 2 suspects fled. Now, again, one of the 2 suspects is now in custody. We're told it is the person from that original domestic disturbance call. Of course, they are still searching for that second person, but Scott and Anne Marie, Metro Police telling us they don't think that there is an active threat to the public. Of course, when we get an update on a second arrest, we'll of course let you know.
All right, Ashton reporting live for us tonight with that breaking news. Thanks so much. So according to IMPD records, officers have taken at least 87 reports of violence in that part of the city.
Our crew was out there today and felt the fear from those that live in the area, but also found that there are people who really are trying to help and make a difference. Marina Silva looks at the data and also takes a look at what now is being done to help in that neighborhood.
Right in the heart of the northwest side of the city, you'll find Barnes United Methodist Church, home to the 10-Point Coalition and Reverend Charles Harrison.
This is one of the hotspot areas in the city, but you know, the biggest thing that happened prior to the police action shooting this morning certainly was the homicide that occurred on 29th Street of a gentleman that occurred over some kind of argument about money.
The 10-Point Coalition focuses on young people between the ages of 18 and 24, but the violence expands beyond those ages.
You know, there's just all kind of violence out here, you know, and we have to try to stay in front of it in order to prevent, you know, a lot of violence occurring in an area that historically has been known for it.
So a lot of the times when we're doing stories about crime in the neighborhood, we talk to the people living here who say they're outraged and they want change. But this was different. The people we spoke with today were either fearful or they didn't want to be seen talking to us. Some even made threats. But Reverend Harrison says it's important to remember there are still good people in this community.
You don't have a neighborhood that is full of violent people. We have repeat violent offenders who get arrested, they're re-released back into these neighborhoods, and those are the individuals that end up being either the suspect or the victim of a violent crime. And that's what has to be addressed.
And it's up to everyone to make change.
That's why it's going to take all of us, because it's so widespread, you know, and all of us are trying to do our part. Each of these organizations focus on a different aspect of violence, and we're all trying to work together with whatever area that we're focusing on to try to address these social issues that is creating the violence on the ground.
Change that will create a better future for everyone. Reporting on the northwest side of the city, Marina Silva, 13 News.
Tonight, 4 Hamilton County teenagers are facing adult charges in connection to a shooting in Carmel.
Police tell us that one of their moms helped identify everyone involved by tracking her son through a family safety app. So in newly released court documents about the case, investigators say the group planned that robbery using text messages, and they did it during school hours.
Tonight, all 4 17-year-olds are facing various charges, including armed robbery following that shooting Saturday night. A 5th suspect is just 14. The prosecutor said they would need a waiver hearing to be charged as an adult, but it's not clear right now if that's happening. Angela?
Scott, a warm afternoon, but not too humid out there. A high of 90. We're down into the mid-80s for most of us. 85 Noblesville, 86 Bainbridge. We have 82 in Connorsville and 86 in Crawfordsville at this hour. Mix of sun and clouds out there late this afternoon and this evening. It'll be a mainly clear sky as we head through the overnight hours. We'll stay in the 80s through sunset, drop into the 70s late evening, and be close to 70 early tomorrow morning. Headed to the State Fair on Friday. Expect a more humid day today and a high of 90.
Thanks, Angela. Well, the city recently picked a new person to lead the city animal shelter. They selected someone who's very familiar with the struggles of the job.
She also knows the happiness that an animal can bring a family. Ella Rhodes introduces us tonight to the new director.
We spoke with the new director for the Indianapolis Animal Care Services, and she says she has a plan for its future.
3 weeks ago, Amanda Dehoney-Hinkle started as the director for Indianapolis Animal Care Services. She actually started her career at IACS. She says her goal is to make the shelter as best as it can be, and the new facility under construction is a step in the right direction. The $7 million, 50,000 square foot shelter under construction is double the size of the current shelter, with an expanded medical clinic, public dog park, and more. The space also helps with overcrowding at the shelter. IACS has 222 dogs, that's over capacity, and 143 cats, that's near capacity.
I am very dedicated to our animals, our community, our shelter, our volunteers, our staff, and finding the solutions that we need to get us to be a top-notch agency. We want to be providing the best care that we can for our animals, and I think that that's all of our common goal.
IACS plans to move into the new shelter in March when construction is finished. In Indianapolis, Ella Rhodes, 13 News.
Well, the Indiana Fever will be back home tomorrow night, hosting the Washington Mystics.
And now fans looking forward to the game are also hoping that while they're enjoying the action, their cars outside don't get vandalized. That's what happened during the last home game. And some of those fans who are impacted today are still dealing with the damage.
And our Samantha Johnson talked to them today.
Dale Kuklinski and his wife Suzanne are season ticket holders. They have been for a couple years. They live in Wisconsin and drive down for games, face paint and all.
Part of the reason why we love face painting our faces is because we love seeing kids and other people smile.
They were downtown for Tuesday night's game. They parked in their usual spot inside the Virginia Avenue parking garage.
And when we came around the corner to where my truck was, this window had been completely smashed. I looked inside and majority of my stuff was still here, including this Caitlin Clark shoe, which still has some glass in it, which is crazy. I got to get that out. As we looked through more, we discovered that the entire navigation system had been torn out. They didn't rip any of the cords. Nothing is really damaged. It's very professional. If anything got damaged, it might have been this one water bottle they squished to get up here.
Dale's truck is now cleaned up. The window has been replaced. The navigation system will come Friday. But he's left wondering who did this.
It is interesting because they have to go through multiple levels of security to get to my level.
Now, Dale and his wife were not the only Fever fans hit. There was at least one other report of a vandalized car in that garage Tuesday night.
Sometimes these things that happen are crimes of opportunity for suspects. Just being not giving that suspect the crime of opportunity, because more than likely this particular suspect has done this before.
Police say right now they are still trying to find the person or people responsible. But even this isn't stopping Dave and Suzanne. They'll be courtside again Friday night.
Just like the Fever loss, we don't give up. We get back at it and get things fixed and get in there and try to get another win.
In Indianapolis, Samantha Johnson, 13 News.
And Metro Police tell us that fans should not be worried about Friday night's game. They suggest parking in well-lit areas and then making sure all the valuables are out of your car or at least hidden. And the company that owns the garage tells 13 News they plan to have more than 10 employees roaming that lot this Friday night.